All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm not going to the meeting room. I'm going to the lounge, dude. I can't find any more computers that have like the input thing on it.
Stanley came to a set of...
The lounge!
This
The lounge,
was
lounge,
the
lounge,
way to
lounge,
the meeting room, and
lounge.
Stanley knew it
The
very well.
lounge.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first.
Of course I did.
Admire it.
Of course.
The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too majestic. Like a combination of a much smaller version and a much larger version of this exact room. It all made
Yeah, it
Stanley
kind of is.
uncomfortable, and he started to bleed a little.
Ow, I'm
This
bleeding.
same smile, last proof that he was human.
Yes. The lounge.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
We haven't been...
And so he detours
Down the
through
stairs yet.
entrance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Because, like, after here, there's, like, the
Yet
stairs that
there
go
was
up
not
to
a
the boss's
single
office.
person there either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's
Oh, I wanted to go in the
thinking
closet.
He might find an answer there.
Yeah, right here. So if we go down
Coming
instead
to
of
the
up...
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, I didn't.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he
Yeah,
left
you're
his
right.
post during work hours.
I'd be fired.
Fired for that. And in such a competitive economy,
And I would never see the
why
lounge
take
again.
that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself,
Wait, we're back
maybe
here?
I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they
Yeah.
simply repeating?
It looks like it...
"Oh," Stanley said to himself, "this is all too strange. This can't be real."
This can't be
At
real.
last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. "I'm dreaming!"
I'm dreaming!
he yelled. "This is all a dream."
Of course.
Relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to
Phew.
lose his job. He wasn't crazy.
Wait, I'm still gonna get fired for sleeping on the job, though.
I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently
Whoa.
fly off the ground.
I'm flying.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star field, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley
Whee!
marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid?
Good
And then
point.
perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Oh, that's just the narrator, don't worry.
It's describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought.
Oh god, this is
He
horrible.
thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams.
Maybe.
The truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment
Yeah,
ago?
exactly.
How else
Exactly.
would the voice explain all that? This voice was a
Yeah,
part
voice.
of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it.
Yeah, I'll show
He
you.
was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up.
Alright, I'm gonna wake up.
He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin.
Yes.
The
Okay.
press of the mattress on his back.
Uh huh.
The fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up.
Let me wake up.
To himself. I'm through with this dream.
This dream
wish it to
sucks.
be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please. It's all I want.
That's all I ever
I
wanted.
want my apartment, and
My
my
apartment?
wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
Exactly.
My life is normal. I am normal.
Normal.
Everything will be fine. I am okay.
And we didn't wake up.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be.
Oh god, it's turning red.
Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Okay.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Mariella.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
And we're
On
dead.
this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would
Hey, that's the
turn
bag
to
that's
give
in the
calls
office.
an ambulance, for just a
And in
few
the
brief
boss's
moments,
office, I'm pretty
she
sure.
considered the strange man.
Next to the desk.
He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life.
So she doesn't like call the police or anything.
So it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Alright. So yeah, we died. And the end is never, once again.